Call the meeting of the Newbury Historical Commission to order at 7:08 p.m. What's the date? 4/11/24. All rise to the Pledge of Allegiance. Oh, they moved it again.
No, it's still there. I just forgot.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Always an incline. Even if I'm not, I seem to be on an incline.
Okay, minutes. Everybody pull their minutes out from March. Review them. Typo.
Oh, jeez.
I found a correction on the treasurer's report, one typo there, no changes. Any other corrections to the minutes? Entertain a motion to accept minutes as corrected.
I move that we accept the minutes of the March 14th meeting as corrected.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Treasurer report.
Treasury report, there's no difference again. So the account balances are all the same. One comment that on May 1st, I will put the porta potty again up by the
May
schoolhouse.
1st, okay.
And so that those, right now, they're just commitments, and so we'll start receiving charges on those. And that's it. And I had not received my update yet from Town Hall, so these numbers, I didn't update them because I didn't have any updated numbers, but there wouldn't be any changes anyway. So this is based on 8 March yet, it's not based on April numbers.
All right.
I'm just assuming they're going to be the same.
Right.
Okay.
Do you accept those or not? I mean,
Oh.
vote.
Yeah.
Entertain a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
Website report.
Yes, so I've tried to launch it, and we will see after it goes through the process of switching over. Wish me luck.
All right.
Godspeed.
All right, we'll get it together. Correspondence, Jan.
I'll forget. There is a spring annual meeting for Essex Heritage, if anyone's interested. It's at the Hamilton Hall in Salem on the 23rd of April.
does Essex Heritage do?
Oh, I did. Agenda will include an update on what's happening in the heritage area, announcing partnership grants, voting in new commissioners, specials, awards, and more. Thanks to Hamilton Hall for hosting. That's all I've got.
Okay.
I guess if you're in the inn, you know.
Is that the Essex National Heritage Area? Something else, I guess.
Well, good old Essex County, everything has a name of Essex, because we're in Essex.
Yeah. Like it.
This was interesting. There's updates from the Mass Historical Commission from Jennifer Doherty, and it's about grants. Our newest CLG, which is Certified Local Government, is Manchester by the Sea.
Wait, what? Say that again? Our local what?
Certified a local government.
For, that seems vague.
You'd have to know what it is, and I actually,
Certified local
Really
government.
in this program, the Mass Historical Commission, with concurrence for the National Park Service, certifies communities that have a high level of preservation activity and interest. There are several benefits to becoming a CLG. Increased participation in the National Registry of Historic Places listing process, dedicated funding in Mass Historical Commission survey and planning grant program, eligibility for additional funding and technical assistance from Mass Historical and National Park Service. The town of Manchester by the Sea established its local historic district and historical commission in 1975 and adopted the Preservation Community, the Community Preservation Act, which we did not pass here, as I recall. And the Historic District acting as combined commission has recently been working on drafting historic resource survey plans and will be starting systematically update the community's inventory of historic researches, et cetera, et cetera. So being a CLG will allow Manchester to apply for priority funding through Mass Historical Commission Survey and Planning Grant Program.
I wonder if they have a paid staff member that handles all this, piles of paperwork and applications like this.
Manchester by the Sea?
Yeah,
Probably.
No idea.
probably.
Tap into that person unless they get protected.
So, sounds like you ought to keep that.
Should be going
Start a
Oh, I'm
file.
sorry, like I don't keep everything.
No, I mean like start a file folder for the CMCA.
When
Thing.
Jen dies, we're gonna have to get boxes and boxes and boxes
So-
of papers out.
When somebody brings that up sometime, we know what it is. I mean, it'd be nice to see, start pursuing it, but we're only in CLG,
Certified local
yeah.
government, because we did not pass the Community Preservation Act, because
Sure,
when it
son.
came up for us,
Yeah, like
as
the
I recall, we were over there, when it first started, it was a huge amount of money, but then as more and more and more and more cities and towns got involved,
Oh, that's the,
Yeah.
what's that fund called?
the
Don't.
Community
Cease.
Preservation,
No, I don't think
Act.
that's the same.
I think it is, but I
No.
could be wrong.
What's the fund that they were giving the monies to all the towns that, once the big cities found out, they got it? You had to, every town had to accept it, and we were on the,
Because of the train?
no,
No.
this was 10 years ago. They had a selectmen's meeting about it. It's something about the Community Preservation Act.
Okay.
Is it the 2% that they had to hold on?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's CPA, isn't it?
CPA.
Yeah,
Otherwise known as the Community Preservation Act,
there you go,
which is what I
CPA.
just said.
Too many,
Yeah.
Too many
Initials
acronyms.
everywhere.
Too many
Yeah.
acronyms.
I actually have a
Acronyms
grant from that.
everywhere.
I have a grant.
So we didn't pass it because by the time we went to get to it, it was like
There was no money.
no money really, so.
And the people that did pass it now got paid into it. They're not getting anything out of it.
Newbury didn't do it.
Right.
No,
We
Newbury
didn't do
Port
it.
did, but I got a grant from them, so you can get money out of it, $2,500 for pollinator gardens.
so,
And I'm not
Really?
not personally. This is for a program.
that's that.
Some of the Brazilians,
Um,
25 groups got together and asked for
I
one
just
grant.
I got this one the other, Tuesday. Realtor refuses to sell is the title of the heading. The town of Hopkinton had a similar situation with a threatened property. Lunenburg Historical Commission declared a home built in 1895 as significant and imposed an 18-month DDB, supported by the town's building commissioner. The most recent use was a funeral home. The property is owned by a holding company in Florida by a local developer, but a local developer appears to be a future owner. We are informed that he is the agent for the holding company. So they are gonna wait it out to demolish the building. They've already told them that. And erect several units of housing. They said they will wait out the delay. So the building commissioner, the fire chief, and the commission, historical commission, agreed the building is in good condition and suitable for conversion to 1 or 2 residents. Asked by the commission at what price would be an offer for the property would be acceptable, the realtor responded with an amount, which doesn't state. A potential purchaser willing to pay that amount called the realtor, indicated interest in purchasing. The response given was, no, we're gonna tear it down. So
Jerks.
it's just like, wow.
Well,
You
shows
know.
you that even an 18-month
Yes.
DDB is still,
They don't care, they'll just
18
wait it out.
months.
That's why you have to have
That-
a local historic.
yeah. So 18 months is how long it takes for your shingles and your windows to show up anyhow, so.
That's what I was just gonna say, it's a regular
It'll
project
take you
line.
that long to get contractors
But I
and
think
cement.
it was just kind of mean that they let them, you
Yeah.
know, get someone to do it and then go, sorry, no, we're gonna tear it down. We don't care how
Yeah.
much you want to pay us, but we're just tearing it down.
Yeah.
That was just kind of mean to me, but, you know,
It's like-
Kind of.
so,
You can trade them the pink house with it.
Well, like, they wouldn't even be open to like removing it, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it even looks like, but that's the kind of thing.
That's the problem with so many of these structures is, see, the banks won't finance a historical structure
Yeah.
anymore. The building inspector gets mad and wants an engineer's stamp on everything, and the engineer doesn't want to have anything to do with it. So it's not new construction. There's so many, saving a building now is pretty much a miracle.
Yeah.
With your contaminants, with your lead, your asbestos, your plumbing, your
Handicap access.
your handicap
Yeah, all of
access, all the other problems that go along with it. It's such a battle now.
We
Did
had to be grandfathered into our staircase because it was torn out and replaced, and it's too steep.
Yeah. So it's other than extremely important historical buildings that like belong to museums or something already, it's almost impossible. So as some of this stuff that comes across our table, we gotta look at it and go, what's realistic and what's gonna be the best choice? What's gonna get the most done? What's gonna save the most?
Yeah.
Um,
And it's like, you can't move, it's not like, you know,
Can't move.
can't move things anymore.
Somebody mentioned to me, asked me this week about moving, if the town hall's so important, somebody could move it. Well, it's a masonry
Yeah.
base.
It's a fieldstone
It's
building.
a fieldstone building.
It's
Once you
not
take it
a-
off the fieldstone base, that's the whole basement. You take that off, I mean, you've just got one floor of Lincoln logs, that's
Right.
it. And nobody wants it, so. All right, what other correspondence?
shingles.
Oh, yes, the shingles.
So you know how much it costs to restore a barn.
Yeah, well, I know, exactly.
I want to cover the shingles under new business, but,
It's mail, I'll do it after.
okay.
Okay. And then we had the Dole Little House is getting a, repairs done again.
Oh, good.
So
There's some,
we had,
some issues.
that had to get okayed through the permit link.
So Dole Little House, I okayed, they're doing shingles with like same clapboards, corner boards, other trim with like clear pine, and the roof too, right? Shakes on the roof? Or was it just clapboards?
Remove existing side sheathing, replace
They're
the
reporting
damaged
roof.
Sheathing,
aluminum-
clapboards.
Oh, aluminum flashing at windows and door heads, furnished. No, I think that was the last time.
They already did the roof. So
We
this
did-
this
we already
is
approved that, I
two
believe.
sidewalls. They've
Okay.
got Meadows doing it. They're known for
They do a
their-
good job.
They do a good job. And they're supervising it all, so I saw no reason to delay their work. So I okayed that.
Is this, did they have to do a demolition?
No,
Oh,
but
okay,
anything that's old, permit link, we get it
yeah.
from the building inspector.
Building inspector wanted to make sure we were all in
That's
sync.
nice, I'm happy that it's working.
So, yeah, so that's good.
So I have the information, I checked it, and plus, as I said to Channing, it's owned by Historic New England, so
Yeah.
they're not gonna put the
No,
wrong stuff
they'll
in
do
there,
it.
because
Good job,
they're the
right.
advocates for doing it the right way, right? So that's all set, and that was approved so that they can get on with what they're doing. And then, last meeting, there was a discussion about a tree at the green.
If it
Oh,
was planted or something?
it's there, it's just, it's not outside the window, it's just a little further
Yeah,
north.
but it was funny because I was trying to clean up again for the 400th time, the paper I have in the house with the Historical Commission, and it's, Tim told us about it. Hi Jan, we did have to cut one of the trees down, I have a replacement coming in May, because I asked him this from the April 23 meeting, 2023 meeting,
This is Lower Green or Upper Green?
lower.
Lower
Okay.
schoolhouse.
That's all.
And then it came up again didn't it?
Yeah,
Wasn't
it's
it last
like
meeting?
we're
Yeah.
We were
repeating
saying,
everything.
I
the
brought
same.
where did this tree come from? So I asked him what it was, and he told me it's a common hackberry,
Oh,
and it grows well in most soils, and it's native.
Oh, so it'll have fruit?
Don't ask
whatever
me,
hackberry is.
Yeah,
not huckleberry,
right,
hackberry.
hackberry.
I have no
Interesting.
clue.
It's
But
about,
I just thought it was funny that I bumped
Never
into this,
it's about 20
Unless we
feet
call it
from where
something
the old
different.
tree
That's what I
is.
mean.
yeah, so, that was, we had already known about it, but it had been like a whole year,
Okay,
and we forgot about it.
that sounds about right. I
Yeah,
guess.
because we have nothing else to think about, so,
Sounds about right. Maybe, yeah.
well, he'd know.
It was a
That's
cherry
native.
tree that came down, I think.
That's a-
wasn't it?
Okay, so,
I think it was, looking at the bark. I didn't know what went out, because it's just a stick.
okay. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You'll find out in a few weeks.
No, it's good. And then the building inspector also, they brought to my attention that they have an upcoming, probably, something's gonna hit the permit link again, for 18 Forest Street,
The Olive Goodrich,
which is
she's probably gonna do the kitchen.
Ronald Ward.
I don't know.
That's who owns it, and the house is in sideways, like,
Let me look at it.
I think I gave you all a picture of it.
No,
Did you? Oh, you did.
I did, because it's easier than trying to, it should be on the paper.
Oh, no, so this is further down.
Yeah, it's 18, not 8, are you thinking of 8?
I think, yeah, maybe.
Okay, so, and because it's an 1845 house.
Yeah.
But obviously, you can see by the roof line, it's already been added on to once.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess they're gonna do something else in the back about adding buildings, like they're going to put, so purportedly, they're going to put in more like houses or something back there.
Oh,
I
So,
doubt the bay
Like-
window was there in the original too. That's probably new, huh? I mean, an addition. Because it looks like an
so
old
just so that we
farmhouse.
know,
yeah.
So this is,
it's,
coming up as a development.
So they want to do like other actual houses?
apparently, they're going to build
How much
something in the
How
back.
many
'cause I
acres
guess
here?
they
That's what
have
I'm
a
trying
lot
to
of,
.749.
How's that possible?
Wow.
Mini houses? Like tinies?
I have no idea.
Oh, no, I know, I'm just.
Because it hasn't actually hit. They
Right.
came in, I guess, to ask about how they would go about doing it, because apparently they're selling
I'm
it.
surprised that there's
It's
more,
being sold, and the new people want to know if they can build.
Gotcha.
I guess is
I'm
what it-
surprised there isn't more push for tiny houses around here, to be honest.
Well, around here, right,
Because you have to have
affordable.
full-size septic systems no matter what.
Is that what it
So
is?
there's no advantage to going tiny when you still have to do everything by the BOCO and health code regulations that
Right.
don't accommodate tiny houses.
You like to put like 3 houses on one septic if it was like a 1-bedroom, something like that. But I'm just surprised, because like everyone's pushing through all the,
You see,
Housing
but you
everywhere.
look at the addresses for it, it's in remote areas
yeah,
that
don't require the
don't
septic
require
stuff,
any of
yeah.
that.
And it's only 30,000 square feet.
It's not
that
a lot. Yeah, it's not a lot.
Well, it's not a building site even.
Well, the house doesn't look like it's anything we have to be concerned with, so
Okay.
see what,
Which part is original?
yeah.
The Garrison or the,
I don't know. You'd have
Yeah.
to try to figure that out, I guess,
So
by
I'm
looking
not
at
losing
it,
any
but-
sleep over that.
No, so. Mass His Press, the new thing, new MAPC History and Heritage webpage. What are you looking at?
Am I reading it here?
No, I'm
Oh,
doing
all right.
mail, what are you doing?
All right,
I'm
go
still
ahead.
doing correspondence.
All right.
MAPC, the Greater Boston Regional Planning Agency, has launched a new webpage that provides centralized information about our work to uplift history and heritage in communities throughout our region. Our staff brings diverse expertise in historic preservation and public humanities and can work on a variety of projects. So it's, obviously they're reaching out to let people know that they are here. They're a regional land use planning company. So in case we need to find out anything, they've told it, because it's on listserv, so everybody who's on it would get the information. Oh, yeah, I got the roof, I'm gonna do that after. Okay. Well, I guess we're
Good.
Look, this-
up to reality.
Oh,
I assume that's what
Yeah, must be.
why not?
No, no.
that's-
Okay.
You're gonna wanna cover the nail.
Right.
That covers all of correspondence.
No, you would cover the nails.
Okay,
Let's see this.
Lon, update from the Lower Historic
Lower
District,
Green Local Historic District.
LH.
Study Committee.
I want to get, I wish we could just print this stuff out, I hate this.
Oh, it's the wrong acronym.
It is.
Yeah, LGLHDSC, okay.
It is no-
Lower Green Local Historic District Study Committee.
But I just put local historic district study
Right,
committee
same
because he's
thing.
tired of all the acronyms, so I left a few off so it would be easier to read.
Okay, we know what it
Obviously
is.
not.
So many groups.
So you want an update?
Yes.
We met Monday and this week, and everybody's been off doing things. Came back, looks like we've made a lot of progress on the inventory of buildings that potentially could be in this thing. All the information on, roof style and the dates and all this information. And then the ones that are completed, we've got a statistical table of what kind of houses fit in this category, how many fit in this category, how many fit in that category. Anyway, and so everybody's going to continue doing what they were doing. The assignment for, I think we're meeting in a month and a half this time. The next assignment is annotated outlines where we don't have the data, where we have the data, drafts of the sections, and I can't read my writing, whatever that was. I don't know what the word is. Okay. Anyway, and we're doing it.
Shows you.
I used to have,
Chicken scratch?
it starts with an I. I can't,
Outline.
underneath it,
Oh.
it's something I.
It
I used to have to give my
actually-
handwriting to
it-
my
it
secretary.
looks
She
like
read
you
my
would- you
handwriting
try
better
to
than
do
I
it.
did. Well, because
Hilarious.
that was back when you'd handwrite it and somebody type it.
And
I don't read my own handwriting. That doesn't matter.
No,
Whatever
usually I
I
was
was gonna
good.
say.
I had a lot of people that used to do that. I had to type up the stuff they handwrote. It was,
Yeah, so it's, anyway, it's coming along, and the goal still is the town meeting 2025. Having it done.
right around the corner.
On this project, that is right around the
Yeah,
corner.
it's right around the corner.
Okay. We just did 18 Forest Street, so that's done. All right. What's the guy's name from the DPW? I spoke to, so we'll talk about the schoolhouse now. I spoke to Jim, the facilities chief and DPW chief for the town, in reference to the schoolhouse. So he's been working, and I started it, the town administrator put him onto it also, is picking out the correct simulated shingles for the roof of the schoolhouse. And yet, in the beginning, so anybody that's watching understands this, cedar shingles are no longer a sensible alternative on historic buildings because cedar shingles are now made out of new growth wood. Aside from the fact that the price of shingles is up by 500% in the cedar shingle department, they're also not going to last as long. The life expectancy on white cedar shingles of probably 10 years or something, 10, 15 years at best. Even a good shingled roof 20, 30 years ago was still prone to cracking, and you might spring a leak once in a while. You'd have to do maintenance on the roof. It was only a marginal idea back then. It was only done for appearance. Now, not being able to get the product, and the only real wood shingle you can use is a red cedar, and those are $500 a bundle. That's $2,000 a square, running up a gigantic bill. The historical commissions have now accepted simulated artificial shaped shingles of different sorts made out of plastics, made out of different materials,
Yeah.
resins.
Resins.
So right now, it's the whole industry's growing. My research, I came up with 3 different companies, but there's no good representation for these companies locally. One's in Canada, 2 are on the West Coast, and I didn't find any installers locally. And so also at the same time, Jim, the facilities chief, is also working on this. He started doing the research, coming up with the same results as I had, just becoming extremely labor intensive, and this is why this kept getting pushed off. Town administrator went ahead with one verbal estimate that Jim got to do the 24 square roof of $100,000, which has got a lot of people asking a lot of questions about why this is costing so much.
So is that what this would then be? Is that
These are the
theory?
samples from Bravda Shingle. I think they're out of the West Coast. So this is so there's more than one style of simulated shingle. There's a hand split shingle, or shake, as we have here tonight. There's also a sawn shake, which is coarse but not split like this.
Yeah, okay.
I think the roof with these ones is, one, I'm not sure, I'm skeptical that the $100,000 price could maybe not be accurate. So it's requiring more research, and Jim and I are both going to work on it, try to get a salesman out here, because all these products have to be installed by an authorized vendor. It's not like you buy asphalt shingles, you go to Monahan Lumber, you get the shingles, and a roofer puts them on. You have to go to school or be certified to put these on
Right.
correctly
Of
to
course.
get it right. In order, but the advantage of this is they have extremely long warranties. I read 35, Jack read 50 years on these shingles. So this is gonna be an investment so we can set it and forget it. Also, the durabilities on these for hail.
Yeah, it looks like they could take a beating.
Bullet, you could beat on that with a hammer.
You could beat that with a hammer and you
Yeah.
wouldn't damage it. Also,
Fire.
giant benefit, fireproof.
Oh, they are.
Yes. So that's another investment for us, is fire, I don't know if I'm using the right
You could
term.
probably get to get really hot
Fireproof
for
or
that.
fire resistant.
You know, like lava salve to like melt it,
uh,
you know.
But, so that's it right now on it. It is
Oh,
on the
there.
town warrant for $100,000. Hopefully, we might be able to, I'm gonna have to speak about it on town floor and say, that's a maximum number, we're not completely sure. And it's still work in process. In order to get it into town meeting, because the roof is leaking, we needed to step up the assault and get stuff rolling.
So in theory, are they voting on it?
This is a line item on the town meeting.
They would be us.
That's what I
Yes.
mean, the they, like
So-
the operative, you know.
We are
So-
all
So,
voting.
but then we would, well, that sounds weird when, we're gonna vote our money, but you know what I mean? Like, so then, is that gonna be our budget? Then, you know what I mean? Like, is that the
So,
thought process?
This is a little different than other things. So we have a sourcing problem because there's only 3 vendors in America. There's no installers here. So but through Massachusetts sound buying practices rules, I think that are governed by the Attorney General, we have to have 3 bids.
Right,
And it has to go out to bid. Well, there isn't 3 bidders. There won't be 3 bidders, or there might be, but it might not be. So then we have to go under the sole source provision and get an exception to the rule. But, so and the products are different. This company makes the shingles out of plastic, the next company makes them out of resin, the next company makes them out of some type of acrylic. So, so we're gonna have to, it's not easy. So we're working on it. So we couldn't just get 3 prices and come to town meeting with the lowest bid price and say, it's gonna be $55,000 and 927 cents or something. We can't do that because we don't have the prices. Still work in progress. We're hoping it's gonna be considerably less than the $100,000 at town that's being appropriated, and we'll just turn the remainder of the money back in again. So that's why the high number. Hopefully, we're gonna get lower numbers once it goes out to bid. The bid numbers are not gonna be in by the
I wonder
meeting,
if we
which
can
is
pull the
the
like, it's an
30th.
historical building, can you donate or knock off price?
Uh,
Later, would they,
Maybe we can offer free house tours and they can have a plaque on the side that
or they
says
can
supplied by
advertise,
somebody.
photos of
Yeah,
some advertisement? I'm just trying to think, like, if
Yeah.
there's any way to try to,
yeah, we can, the picture
We're
of the
getting our way.
schoolhouse on their
Well,
flyer.
it's a tourist site, and
That's
if
what I
we had a
mean, and
little,
then
if we had a little medallion on the QR code.
can tell
on the
people about the
side.
product, you know, if
Yeah.
it's not
So-
represented on the East Coast. I'm just trying to think of
Right.
like ways to
There
try
you
to knock the price down.
So Jack Rybicki was one of the first people who called me. He says, well, what's with this number? What's this? He says, I just called the roofer and they said they can, it's nowhere
Yeah.
near that.
Well,
I
right.
said, okay, well, when they get back to you, let me know. Meanwhile, it's work in progress. Jan, as early as Monday, listed the question on listserv. Did we get any replies? Not being funny.
I'm showing you, they're right here.
Okay,
Echo
so,
Star, is that them?
I wrote, we, the Newbury Historical Commission, are looking for vendors and installers of synthetic cedar shake roofing, excuse me, in Massachusetts for our 1877 schoolhouse. And I missed that. Any assistance we can get would be greatly appreciated. So I got 3 different responses. First one is, good morning. We are an authorized installers of EchoStar synthetic roof shingles. They offer several styles of shingles that mimic the look of real cedar. We provide clients with a 50-year gold star warranty.
Okay.
We are based in Melrose. I didn't read that part, that's where I came from. I would be glad to meet you
Pretty
in
local.
Newbury to discuss.
Fabulous. That's great news.
Yeah, so there's that one.
Okay,
Next, Connie Helwig said, why are you not putting real cedar on? Your neighbor at 7 Lower Green, which I'm not sure where 7 Lower Green is
That's
because,
probably Jerry.
but Lower Green is not a name.
No,
of
but
a
it's like,
road.
it's the loop road they call
I
it.
know, but
Lower
just
Green Road.
did
Must be
his
Jerry.
roof in cedar. Well, that's fine if you want to
He
spend
has
that
to,
money.
he's on the register, and they probably wouldn't give him a
There you
variance.
go. So I don't
Don't you-
respond.
I love people when they're like.
I don't respond to these. I just-
Yeah, then
I
in
just
10 years, we'll be back
let
to do it
them come
again.
in.
Exactly.
And
He can
then
afford
the
it, right?
third response is from Roger Penick. Hi Janice, I don't know what you mean by synthetic cedar. Maybe you mean a material that looks like cedar
Severely.
but is synthetic.
Oh.
And are we on semantics? Okay. I have specified and had installed actual cedar shingles at a number of roofs in my career, the most recent being a 19th century mill. They all go through it telling me why we should be using
The real
the
deal.
real
cedar.
deal.
Thank you.
Except for the fact that, you know, you can't get what really is the real deal
So the
anymore.
Melrose guy is our guy.
I had these on my house in Seattle, right? And I built a garage, and I wanted to, like this, they were real, and they were actually thicker than this. And I think I paid like $40, $45 a bundle back then. But they were, I was told they were good for 30 years or more. Because they came in from Canada, they're probably old growth. I don't know.
Yeah, and that was 30
But
years
you
ago.
can't get them anymore. You
Yeah.
couldn't, even by the time we left that area, you couldn't buy them anymore.
Well, this,
But-
this
But
EchoStar
they looked like this,
specifies
they were heavy,
Yeah.
they were
50-year
solid.
warranty.
yeah, 50 years.
This-
So it'd be very interesting to see what they
were
look like.
More like, some
Yeah,
of them were
so-
that thick.
What is it called? Echo what?
EchoStar?
Should be in your thing, right there. They're in, I gave you guys all copies of
That's
this.
great,
Okay.
that's good.
No, that's.
Well, we don't know what his product looks like though.
No,
Yeah.
No, but we'll get them out here and,
so there's another one.
At least we get somebody with a
Yeah.
pulse to talk to.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they're probably
Yeah.
shingles. These are shakes.
Those are shakes.
Yeah, that's what I had on my house.
so you call it a shake if it's
It's a
split,
shake
and
if it's,
sawn if it's a
solid,
shingle?
yeah. Shingles is what you put on the side of your house.
Right.
In cedar.
Shakes go on the roof, shingles go on the side.
But shakes look like this. A lot of people put shingles on the roof, and they're gone in, you know,
A couple of
just
years.
a couple of years. Because they get the sun, the drying, the rain, the hail, like you said,
Yeah, yeah.
they get everything. Where the side of the building, at least everything's running off, you know, more rapidly. You gotta have these in Seattle because the moss is this thick on the roof.
Yeah.
Eek.
Okay, continued on schoolhouse. So when I had the facilities chief on the phone, I asked him about the alarm. He says, the town uses the company out of Byfield. He had them in last year, and they wanted $800 and something for the install, and then the subscription and the fee for the, because now it's not on a landline, it's on a cellular phone, so they call that a dialer. So there's a
Okay.
fee for the dialer, and there's also a fee for the monitoring that the person on the other end of the phone that calls the fire station. I said, well, that sounds awful high. Most residential ones, they install it for free, and then you just pay the fees after that. You usually have to sign a multi-year contract. So I said, well, why don't you firm up that price and ask them why, if we're going to go into a multi-year contract and they are the vendor for the town, why are we paying that much for an install? So I reviewed with him, and what he didn't know is what apparatus goes on the inside of the building. So am I correct in saying we want 2 contacts one on each door? motion detector, smoke detector, and the motion will cover the windows. We're not gonna
Right,
put
you can't
stuff
do
on the
the
They're
windows.
too rattly, I think, they would probably trip them most of the time, wouldn't they? Like just from the wind?
With the wind, they
Yeah.
could, it's possible.
So I think,
We have
So-
3 doors.
3 doors?
We do.
There's 3
We have the-
You know, there's a door in the back.
We have the 2 front and then the
Does that
big one
door
in the
even
back.
open?
The back one opens.
Does it?
But
I've
that
never
one
seen
is
it
a
open.
deadbolt from
Oh,
the
yeah, it
inside.
opens it. We opened it when we had the.
We're gonna have to
emergency.
open it if
Oh,
we're
yeah.
gonna use that for the
Alright, so we got
emergency.
3 doors.
For the
Yeah.
Handicap
access.
ramp, we have to make sure
Because
that
the
that's
door that's
better.
never used is the one, if you're looking, we go in on the right
Yeah,
hand.
it's the one on the
Yeah,
left.
to the left
The
of
girls'
the
one.
lilac tree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's the one I think you fixed, did you fix that one? The one that's by the attic stairs?
No, I stole the knob to fix the front one.
Oh, that's right, so
So
the
that
door
was-
doesn't work or open, but it is.
If somebody kicked it,
does
so
I'd
exist.
we
be
got
surprised if it's
3
not
doors.
painted shut on that
We got
side.
3, no, I had it open.
On the other side, of that.
I had to steal the lock
Really?
assembly out of that door to fix the other one.
Okay.
So it's just,
Just robbing Peter to pay Paul.
but hey, we're up and working.
But at least
It
the door-
latches.
The door we use is working, so there you go.
So 3 doors, motion detector, and smokes. I'll communicate that with him, and he can continue to, so in closing, I said, so this comes out of the facilities budget.
Oh, you didn't like
They
that?
didn't like that. I said, well, we've only got $600 in our budget, and it's already spent. I said, this is facilities, this is the building. So there was a pause on the phone. So we'll have to continue that. If not, it'll have to, we'll see. I would think we would buy all the alarm services for the town in one check once a month. But we'll
What-
see.
So what does he think the cost of it being? What do you say?
Well, they're talking $850 for the install, and I think when I had one in my house, it was $45 a month for the cell phone, and then like
Bunch of fees,
$65 a month for the monitoring. So it was like $100 a month.
yeah.
Install, it takes 15 minutes to install.
That's what I was getting at.
Because they got glue on the back, you just stick them out.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of
Even the
steep.
motion detectors,
I know.
it's just stuck on the wall with glue.
So he's gonna work on that. So then I brought up the windows when I had him on the phone, and because the select board chairman contacted me about the roof, and if I could speak on it at the town meeting, and then we talked about the windows. So what we're talking about on the windows is the antique windows in the schoolhouse need to be reglazed, sanded, painted, primed, any repairs made on them, and it has to be done by a restoration specialist, not just a painting company, because the period panes and the period woodwork needs to be kept intact because it's a historic landmark building.
Those
so
are rare window types.
Extremely rare
Yeah.
windows with very thin mullions on them
Yeah.
that needs to be done by one of the, it sounds like we have 2 companies in Massachusetts that restore windows. So I said, well, we're just starting on that now and trying to get maybe prices for fall town meeting. And so I sent Rich message to continue chasing
Prices on that.
prices, figuring out, getting a, what do you call it, a request for bid?
Request for proposal.
No.
Request for proposal on the restoration of the windows in the schoolhouse. So, so keep going forward with that. Do you
Yep.
have anything to report?
So Lon and I met with John Siemens,
That's right.
who was the one who had previously offered to do it for cost.
Right.
But unfortunately, the town can't take him as a vendor because he doesn't have proper insurance and things like that. But we did look at the windows. He thinks that they're original to the 1877 building. And he gave us a whole bunch of information about restoring windows and the type of approach you want to take and everything else. So what I'm doing is I'm taking from this and I'm going to put together a, not a scope of work, but a requirements document. And we're going to go out to that. I've identified, actually I think I identified 4 vendors in Massachusetts.
Okay.
including the woman in Amesbury.
Okay,
Window lady.
One of the ladies, yeah.
And,
This is an article, I'm sorry.
Yep.
This is an article that I had in this old house.
yeah,
So I made a copy for him because it's them and what they do.
yep.
Sorry, keep going.
So hopefully, I should have, within a week's time, I should have the requirements document completed,
keep going.
okay?
Then I'm gonna stop.
And I'll send that around for review in case anybody wants to put their 2 cents in. And then I'm going to start contacting the vendors that I've identified.
So the town may have a bidding form,
Yes,
Way to do
but the way Alicia explained it to me
Okay.
is that what we need to do first is we need to get quotes before we get bids, because we
Okay.
need the quote to go to town meeting. But we
Okay,
can't take a bid until town meeting has approved the expenditure,
okay.
all right? The other thing that Alicia told me,
Yeah.
what a
This is what I
process.
think they're.
How'd they get anything done?
Yeah.
But anyway, the other thing Alicia told me is that they may be able to free up some leftover ARPA money for this. So
Good,
that works
That'd
to
be
our
good.
advantage.
because these aren't gonna be cheap, right?
No,
No.
$1,000
no,
a
we're
piece
figuring
at least,
2,000,
right? Two?
yeah.
Yeah,
So John said his guess
well.
on the
right,
windows was 2,000 apiece. So we got 7 windows,
Right,
Does
so,
that count the attic?
yeah.
Ah, just-
yeah.
It does, right? Yeah,
Yep.
because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, never mind.
So
They
the-
have
Sorry.
that-
so
they
the-
have that window upstairs, and I haven't measured it to see if it's, my guess is it's the mirror image from the other side of the building, and they've boarded that over.
Yep.
So that window may be salvageable for restoring for over here, is what I mean.
Yep.
It's the one
Ah.
that you fixed.
Oh, it's still up
Jan,
there?
It's still up, there's still a window up
Yeah.
there that's roughly the same
Just
size.
sitting.
Certainly would, I believe it would fit in that
Cool.
space. So,
Because the
You
one
mean
you
for-
fixed isn't repairable anymore, is it?
It's in pretty rough shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that,
But
how'd
this
the
one's
building
been
fare
protected
this
for-
last storm?
when
Nothing
did they-
happened, do we know?
When did they redo the thing?
oh, 1975?
Yeah, so,
Was when
right.
this last time these windows were.
It's been in the attic for 50 years, so it certainly isn't as weathered as the one outside.
Right.
Right.
That would be good.
Okay, good. That's good news. So it sounds like you've got that well
The
in
EchoStar
hand.
stuff doesn't look bad, I was just on their website quickly.
Right.
It looks, decent, and they've got a bunch of different things.
What is it? Is it a resin or is it does it say?
Let's see, yeah, I mean, it's, a full, what's it, let's see.
So what are the board's thoughts?
Recycled synthetic alternative.
Do we want
What's that?
a smooth shake or do we want a hand split shake? So at 1875?
1877.
77?
I mean,
So 1877, they're gonna have sawn shakes on.
you think?
Yeah, but are they gonna be sanded like the ones that you buy now when you get a bundle? I mean, they're basically smooth. This
Well,
is split. I mean,
that's
this-
hand
That's
split.
simulated
That's
split.
That's stimulated. So
What do they look like?
what's on there now?
That's the question. What do they look like? What's on there now?
They're-
I
they're
don't
rough.
particularly
They're rough.
really
They're like
look at
that.
them.
So they
I
look
mean,
like
I
the
just want
top
to
of
make
that.
sure it's still attached.
So what's on there now is basically, you can see the grain and it's like rough sawn.
Yeah.
So that is a sawn shake. This is what would be a hand split shake. So I guess if we're given a choice, and also, I guess it could have been done either way. And we don't, so I'm thinking out loud as it's going along here, do we want to knock a vendor out because they only make one style of shake? Does it matter if it's a split? But I imagine these thick ones cost more.
Well, which would have been typical of the time period of the 1877.
I'm thinking there would have been a sawn in the mill by that point.
I think so.
Well, I'm posting it as a question also. But, yeah, I don't think they would have been hand split.
Out in our area, in this Gallo area, this was just kind of the standard because there were so many trees.
Well, weren't the ones that were split, they weren't actually cedar though,
Which ones?
on the west coast?
Well, whatever, oh,
Oh,
I
they
think they're
forest?
cedar.
Because I
Yeah,
don't know.
they're cedar.
Yeah,
They're not this aromatic stuff that I find around here, but, you know, with the deep red cores in it.
is that redwood or is that cedar or
Cedar.
another species out there?
I don't know my species, but they were definitely cedar, you could smell
Okay,
them. Did tell-
It smells like a pencil.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so,
But-
all right, we'll just keep
So
rolling
you're telling
forward
me
with
it's
it.
smooth is on there now?
Yeah, I was like trying to see what it
Yeah.
looks like, yeah.
Well, look at the picture.
Yeah, it's
because
hard to
me,
tell.
It looks lumpy, but, you know, wavy.
Yeah,
But then it's probably because it's the rose.
Well, what's on there now is sawn shakes.
Yep. Yeah, that's,
Yeah, it's just because they're weathered, they look lumpy.
right.
I like that
So-
technical term, lumpy.
Lumpy.
I'd say unhappy.
Okay, all right, that's it for schoolhouse business.
So what was, so did we answer the question of what we wanted? Well, I'm looking at
No,
the
I think
I
we see the
basically,
samples
nobody
first.
said anything, so I
Yeah.
think we're just gonna see what comes in.
Yeah.
We'll get the quotes in,
To be determined.
and we'll determine it later. Because I don't wanna knock a vendor out if they
Right.
only make one style of shingle.
Well,
Shouldn't
I would
choose it.
check on
Yeah.
the thickness, if they're, you know, they're gonna hold up better if they're a little heavier. The stuff you put on the side of your house
But
is
maybe
much thinner.
these extra thick ones, maybe these are why they came up with a number of
Yeah,
$100,000.
well,
True.
I don't know,
It's-
this one, this looks like this particular piece right here does look like my shakes on my house.
Right.
On the side of the house. Is that what?
on the
going
side of the
shade?
house, it's shingles,
Okay, the shingles on my house. I always call them shingles, but
Usually.
now I'm getting
at
confused.
least with cedar.
It's usually shingles.
Yeah, so they're like narrow here at the top, but they are probably about that wide.
Yeah.
They're not, I don't think they're as wide as this at the bottom here, so. That's the ones that are on, my house as roofing, regular roofing,
Yeah,
but,
see, the asphalt's shingles, they call it
Yeah.
shingles.
so everything's shingled. My whole house is shingled. The side is shingled, the top is shingled, everything's shingled, all different materials, different colors and different types.
Fitting.
So I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
So, okay, with that, right?
Next thing on the list is getting the schoolhouse, getting a Macris listing done for the schoolhouse. We haven't done it, and we need, the selectmen want us to get it done because they say, well, you missed out, you can't get the grant for the shingles because you don't have it, a Macris listing,
It's easier.
in getting this historically listed, which the first step is the Macris listing. So,
It was attempted in 2007.
okay,
All right.
so is there,
You and
do we
I
have a
share.
copy of the application?
Well, the problem is, if you've seen them
I'll
now,
probably have to start all
they're
over.
ages. The one we got on the pink house, that was done professionally, and I'm sure the folks that are on your committee, the study committee, there's two of them at least from the Historic New England, right?
Yeah,
And they know
one now, yeah.
how, the thing ends up being like this. It's not a couple
But
pages
it
like
doesn't
this.
necessarily need to be that.
It's totally different than it was when they tried to do this. And that was in 2007.
If ours is only 2 pages long, they're gonna kick it back?
Did this one make it through?
I don't know.
Apparently not, I would be honest.
Maybe it fell on the floor or something.
Now,
Never
this
found
was
it.
sent, I don't know what, and I don't even know how to find out, because I'm sure this person isn't there anymore,
Oh,
2007. So, this is the information that they filled out to send in to get it on the Historic Register, and it never did.
2007, Christmas year, maybe he did that.
Oh, Chris,
Excuse me.
Elizabeth Armstrong.
Oh,
Chris Armstrong's one.
The upcoming 375th anniversary celebrating the arrival will play an important part in our future planning. So they recommended it be listed in the Mass Historical Commission of Historic Places, And as far as I know from checking it, it's not on there, so apparently this did not make it on. So
Well, we gotta figure out what,
it needs to be way more detailed and way more information than it has.
I
And
mean,
if you look
it's,
at the
there's
ones
not
that are
that
on there,
much, there's not much more else you can write about it. I mean, it's very
the forms-
basic.
The forms have grown much more detailed on
Right,
Mass
so
Historical.
the first thing we need is the forms and the
They're on the Mass
instructions,
Historical Commission website,
right?
okay? And
Let's
then the
get-
other things that, while you're down, have they decided how far they're gonna go with this district?
Well, they have an inventory of buildings, right?
What do you mean? No, we have not determined what the boundary's gonna be. We know
Okay.
what the cloud is gonna be, but we're probably not gonna go past Tory Lane. We're gonna pick up the cemetery going north.
Okay,
If we're gonna pick up the cemeteries, we're gonna pick them up as discrete things.
because this was entered as a Form C
And south, we're gonna
monument.
stop at the river.
And this is the, nearby stood the stone that's in the
Yeah,
the
right,
woods
in the
there.
field there, yeah.
Yeah, so this much was done, but I don't believe it is on there either.
Now, that's the other side of Tory, so I'm unclear what we're gonna do there. 'Cause
Yeah.
you can't pick up, I guess we could pick up the stone, but you gotta pick up the property, is what we're doing now. And
But
that's
who
the,
owns it?
I don't know.
That's the question, I
Yeah.
guess.
Oh, where the,
And
where the rock
is it
is?
worth including an
Is
empty
that
lot?
not a Greenbelt?
Nearby stood Francis Plummer's Inn, AD 1635, so it's kind of an important stone,
Yeah.
so, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just saying, I've been trying to get
What we're doing now is we're
together.
documenting what's there and have not done this to it and say, okay, everything inside of this is gonna be there. We haven't reached the trustees yet and Greenbelt. Neither one of them got back to us.
Yeah, because I know at one time it
I'm
was
gonna go visit Kate.
different, there was several different arrangements of how far it was gonna be and how long it
That
was
was the
gonna go.
cloud,
and,
yeah, right. Yeah.
So I would think the first step is to start transposing this onto a new application. The best we can, and
Yeah, this is the name.
You should look at, the architect that designed the rebuild. And I can't remember if the beginning of this thing has a history of the schoolhouse. We talked about the schoolhouse?
yes.
We'll have to go ahead.
Right.
Did you ever get that thing?
Get it?
Did you ever get a copy made of that?
Yeah.
You did.
Didn't I send it to you?
Maybe.
The reason I'm asking, if we
Well, 'cause you
have
don't
it,
have
would
a copy of
indicate
it.
that I've never seen
Okay,
it.
okay, I'll go look. I thought
So
I
what
sent
thing
it
is
to
this
you.
we're talking
Yeah,
about?
the history is in there.
The gentleman who did all the work, or did the
Desjardins?
architectural
Yeah.
or whatever, he has the book.
I have his documentation. of it,
Oh, really?
Including all the drawings,
Really?
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and for the past, 3 or 4 years at least now,
We had it
Lon's
scanned.
been gonna make sure that we all got that, and it was scanned into the website or something, so.
I'm gonna go check.
Before spring lawn,
It's
before
done,
the ski season's over.
it's done.
He told me that if anything ever happens to him, that all this stuff is accessible.
Yes, we've already had this
Yeah.
discussion,
She
so,
was talking about hers,
Yeah,
and I said I have one too.
yeah, because it's like,
Yeah. Okay, that's
okay,
good.
so that's, so this is gonna become a priority, because if we can get it on MAPRIS, then we're eligible
for grants.
to get money from the state,
Okay.
because it's on the state register. If it's not on the state register, then they just
I can't check.
kind of giggle at you.
And you're not historical.
Right, right.
Yeah, so that's part of the problem.
Okay.
So, and I went crazy because I thought I couldn't
Don't-
find it.
Now, wait a minute, now don't we have, isn't it in a 3-ring binder in the school?
What?
The report, the copy that I had made, that I had
I've never
scanned.
seen it.
Well, if it is, you're the one who put it there and didn't tell anybody else. That would be the only explanation
No,
I
you guys-
have at this
You guys just
moment.
never listen.
Yeah.
What?
I think
He
it's
asked for
at
that
the,
one.
I think it's at the schoolhouse.
All right, well.
Well, the last I knew, you were gonna
I've got
get it
the
done
original.
and you were
Alright.
gonna scan it, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Moving on.
Demolition
Yeah.
delay
She's gonna-
bylaw.
She's gonna need an electronic copy, because
Yeah.
I'm sure she's gonna need
I've
some of
got it
it
on
for
my
this application.
Computer. The scans. Really?
Great, distribute
It's
them.
true.
So Lon, this application, can you have any time to help with this, or do you wanna start with it? Is it all
I
electronic?
know, I kind of like to help you do that.
I kinda like it too.
Yeah.
I'll send you guys, I've got about
Yeah.
5 images of the school when it was first put in. I'll send you those.
All right, we got a system now,
Okay.
All right.
so we got two
Getting
people
things done.
starting it. Lon's gonna get the support information.
And there's pictures in his report too in the school.
What's his last name?
We can take more.
Desjardins, I think, was it?
Something,
Desjardin? Yeah. Desjardins, a little French.
At this moment.
Okay, switching channels over to continued, DDB, continued review process.
I got sales and trails too.
Oh,
Oh.
They've extended it
Oh,
to 3 weekends.
okay.
So I figure we'll probably just do the same old thing unless you want to think about maybe we could add something else, something different to see when you go in there. I don't know what,
A band.
you know, just something.
What's the weekends?
September 14th through the 29th.
So most of September weekends, basically.
Is there any support materials we need for this? I was thinking, is there any costumes or anything?
Somebody took our sign last year, didn't they? We had a sign.
They
Yeah.
did, so I'm trying to get more.
Yeah.
Do you still have your
You know,
costume?
My costume's in the closet, I can always bust that bad boy.
right, or, who made your Bigfoot? Who cut out your Bigfoot? I've always,
It's,
Did you
So
find that somewhere?
I've always
made?
thought that
It's already made.
something
It's
like
company
that
makes
out
them.
front would be kind of fun.
Funny, having a Bigfoot?
No, not Bigfoot, a teacher or a,
Oh, have someone like do
yeah,
that?
or a child that's in the garb of some.
black, 8-foot tall cutout silhouette of a teacher or,
Yeah,
Or
or
something
something
like a
you put
witch
your
or
head
something.
through, you get your
Schoolbook,
picture
or-
taken, you know, you
Yeah.
stick your head through.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, like something like
Oh.
that, so
Mm.
you would like, look like you were wearing the kid's clothes or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
That might be cute.
Or, you know, I don't know, just, I know that if I had already stopped by once, I might not bother to stop by again, unless I knew that, oh, maybe, you know,
Something
something,
different.
yeah, or maybe even something small inside that would interest something, I don't know.
Well, I definitely thought,
Resource books or,
yeah, well, those coloring books that you had printed, like whenever
Oh,
there's
yeah.
kids, those things
Yeah,
are
Those,
hot.
those
they,
fly.
they
Yeah,
go.
those,
Yeah.
they went, how about having a photographer in there and have your picture taken in the old schoolhouse?
That might be something that could be, you know.
With Miss Peabody.
Huh?
The problem is,
Picture with Miss Peabody.
honestly,
Yes, we could,
the
yeah.
only thing is, the problem with that is that most people do everything with their phones now. So like, when we do
Yeah, you'd have to
things
give
at
them a
school,
digital.
yeah, well, you
Yeah,
know,
that's
like,
way to get
nobody
their
wants
email
to
out.
do the $5 with the professional camera anymore. They just want to like take a picture
That's
with
right.
their cell phone real quick
well,
and
one
run.
of the historical places I went to is they catch you as you're waiting in line to go in. And they do one of these, you know, with an actor, they do a photo shoot, and they go, give us your email address, because this is how they want your info.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So they send you the picture for free, and they get your email address at the same
turn around.
time.
Yeah,
And,
that,
um,
yeah,
But
that
what are we
makes
gonna
it-
do
You're
with
on
their
hook.
email address?
well, monthly
sell
mailings
it.
of our events, or something in the future, as our electronic wizardry
What- You
continues.
could have an actor with a, you know, a musket or something standing out in front, or,
Well, it is 3 weekends long.
Well, like opening
Would be
weekend
expensive.
And we
maybe
have
or
until
something, you know
September
what I
to
mean?
come up with
Right.
something really good.
I'd like to find out too when the Jack and Willett House is gonna be open. Because maybe
Are they doing
If-
Newberry Day again?
if
this
they
summer?
only do one day, maybe we
Really
do
like that?
something that same day and
Yeah.
give people a more of an incentive to come on over. It's something to think about. So Saturday, the 14th of September is the first.
and what are we usually open from what, from when to when? I know the
Memorial
before.
Day to
Oh, no,
Columbus
I meant
Day.
the day of this thing.
Hours.
Oh,
We opened up early and we stayed till open to
11
4.
to 3, was it?
Yeah,
No, it was
Yeah.
4 though, I think.
I don't think it was,
I think I was there
does it
before.
say on there? Does it?
Anyway,
No,
Yeah, they
I
don't
mean,
have,
it's up to us.
because if we're getting an
Sure, it's in the minutes.
reenactment
Yeah.
type person, that's, what, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 5 times 2 is 10, times 3 is 30 hours we'd have to pay him if somebody was doing that.
yeah,
That's
that's a
a
long
lot.
time.
That's a lot of,
So I mean,
that's
if
be
there was
expensive.
something of interest, great enough that it was small enough to go in the schoolhouse, but something that might just catch somebody's interest, something different, but I don't know what, I'm just throwing it out there now,
Yeah.
because we
Well,
have
I've got
one.
available props and stuff at the antique shop, you know, if we want to, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but if we had a reenactor out by the side of the road with a tripod camera or something like that, you know, prop it up with a couple, and somebody
Saltwater
standing there.
Antiques used to have a revolutionary, one of those big drums. Those
Yeah.
big, it's
Really?
about that big, that across, about that deep.
Could you actually play it?
Town Day, we opened 11
I thought it
to
said,
3.
"Do not hit me" or
Yeah.
something.
Have
like that, but-
Have you ever heard of a Liberty pole?
Is that when you run around it?
that's a
No.
maypole.
It's a
No, it's
maypole.
maple,
No.
right.
The poles were put on commons, but I have never seen Newbury as having one. But it was a place to post your grievances and whatever, and the cat,
Like a
the red
gossip
cat would
hole?
sit on top. That's something that might be kind of fun. Because who knows what would find written on it.
And,
How about a stock and putting something their head in the thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, no, something.
Well,
Or
we
even
could get
children's
You could get a
games.
mannequin out there. I mean,
True.
not a real person.
Mannequins work really good. We're buying more of them for the antique shop. It just lights up the place when
Yeah.
people come running. It's like, I thought that guy was alive.
Well,
We got
people
to-
say that about the schoolhouse all the time.
Yeah.
They come in and they'll go, I keep driving by and I could have sworn, I
Saw
I
somebody
see
in there.
someone in there all the
Right.
time.
Well,
It's
Rebecca freaked some
hysterical.
people out last time when
Oh, yeah, when I'm
she was
dressed up.
dressed up and they thought she was one of the mannequins and she said, "Hello, welcome to the
But
schoolhouse."
My grandniece was there when they were visiting us. She came in, she's about this tall. And she was up and she went up to the little boy and said, "Are you all right?"
You look a little pale.
She did. I think I got a picture of her talking to
We
her.
need some food.
"Are you all
Maybe a
right?"
bigger prop on the lawn, like a period boat or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, something.
Yeah,
Just
just
to
to catch
spice it up a
people's eyes.
little bit,
Yeah.
so the people
Well,
that
think
do this
about
every
it.
year have a reason to stop in.
Okay, good thoughts.
Oh, and there's a really neat, old, I don't know what to call it, 1800s handmade dress in Saltwater Antiques up here. It's one, what's it, the Todd Farm. That, I can't remember how much it is, but it looks too small for our mannequin. But it really is well done. It
A
really
lot
is
of mannequins.
nice.
Oh, you mean too small, like too short? or
No,
too-
it's too small to fit on our mannequin, I think.
So like it'd be a child's dress?
It's a child's dress.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not for the teacher. Yeah, it's for a child. But it's really well done, all hand stitching on it and everything. Just a thought.
So if anybody thinks of anything that they want to follow up on, and like costumes, props, anything, we could get the spinning wheel down out of the attic,
That's a good
put that
point.
out on the lawn.
What's in the attic?
Spinning wheel.
Where?
Is the spinning wheel in the attic now?
I didn't know that.
In the school, I've never seen a spinning wheel there.
Where- Somebody
Is
was
it-
giving it to us, I thought.
Oh, I've
He's
got
got
it. It's
the
in my
spinning wheel.
house. It's in my
Yeah.
You
garage.
could bring it over,
It's
leave
in
it
my
on the
attic.
lawn.
Take it back.
We set
Spinning
up the
wheel?
window.
Oh, I have it. I love it.
We could
Get
do
it, get
that.
it hanging a block.
That could
with
go
a
on,
couple
nobody will
sheep
steal
on
them, I've
it.
got them, nobody will even buy them at the antique
Oh,
shop.
the handle?
Yeah, I've got it.
Can't
Well,
get
that's
rid of
the
that
thought.
stuff. Can't get rid of the period stuff at all.
Really? That's too bad.
You could put it out in front of the
We might
school.
need anvils soon, you
I
know?
mean, if you could see it from the street, it's,
How
you know.
much?
Oh, no, can't get rid of
$5.50.
spinning wheels, anvils are worth a lot of money.
Right, yeah, but he's gonna, wishing he's had his family's.
All right,
uh,
all right,
Okay.
enough of the sidetrack, on to, sequence of
Demolition delay
events.
bylaw.
Okay, so, this is, okay, are we doing this now?
Oh, yeah.
Yep,
Okay, so
Unfortunately,
I
yeah.
scanned the page, and these prints look, this looks weepy because I just spent $120 on 2 ink cartridges for my thing. And I'm using about once a month now. So I put this on
Monthly.
draft. I
Yeah.
put it on draft.
It's all right.
So it would come out darker. So I moved the text out of the way where here's what I had. This is really sad that my mind's going. It was, we're trying to get rid of this or change the words on it and then somehow make a extra arrow over here. I can't remember what we were gonna do. You and I were talking, and I guess on the tape, we were talking so softly that we couldn't even go there to find out what we had decided to do. And I can't remember.
I think we were.
But
looking
I
for
can-
escape
I've scanned
hatch,
it.
right? We were looking for a way
Well,
to.
that's what you were working on. He was working on the flow.
I've got this, this is what it looked like. And then it said, somehow we wanted to say, well, isn't there a way we can bypass some of this if we know
Right.
we're going to do it or not do it? And that's what I can't remember. But, so I scanned it, I moved it out of the way, and that's on this one. So you can see we could do anything we want over here and then put it back in again. But it's not in any of my notes, and it's not on the video, because we were talking too softly. So if you can remember what I was gonna put in there, I'll do a draft of it.
I know.
It had to do with, she got the criteria, I didn't print this out for everybody. We had the criteria, which was significant structure may meet one or more of the following criteria: built in or before 1820, on or eligible for the National Register, important to the history of the town, and significant architectural importance. And then we said, okay, what if it doesn't fit any of those, but we make a decision to do something?
Right.
Is there a way to sidetrack and go straight down to number 5? And I can't remember what we said we were gonna do. So I was hoping that Chad could you remember. I apologize.
The problem is I can't write that fast.
Yeah,
And you were down there, and every time you got up, you came over here, but the thing was still over
Yeah,
there, so
right.
you two were going,
Right.
no, it's over, did you look at that?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't,
Yeah.
yeah.
and there's no volume, you know,
Yeah, you can
real
control it.
volume control
Yeah.
on the videotape, so I lost it
Yeah.
with that, sorry. Did you remember to bring me these? Okay, I'm gonna go with that's a no. Did you wanna look and see if you could find what you thought you would
Yeah,
find there?
I did look at this and it was fine.
Okay.
Oh, was that, oh, good. Then you didn't need them then? Or you said to bring 5 or 6 or something like that? That was to give each one of us plus one?
Just so we could double check the information and before we made more of them, there was something wrong
Okay,
with it, but
okay.
apparently we're okay. I mean, I thought we all looked at it before, but
Yeah.
I've been wrong before, shockingly.
So when it's considered a significant structure, and this is where Rich was gonna start researching the verbiage in the exact bylaw. If it's significant, but is clearly,
We wanted something we weren't interested in, so we could bypass, go from 3 to 5, rather than going through 4.
Right, without the public hearings and all that stuff, right?
right, if it's a derelict
Yeah.
building and no reason to save it, if it's significant, do we have to go through the hearing process
In order to,
in order to say that, to issue a demo permit?
so by our judgment, no matter what we do, you're not gonna save it, because it's just not savable anymore. So it may be, yeah, it may be significant, but we've decided it's not. I'm trying to remember. By the way, the pinks, this stuff here, you got that? This-
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, that applies to 3, not to 4, even though it's next to 4.
Okay, what are you guys looking at that we don't have?
Just this, it's, this pink thing,
not pink on ours.
it's not pink in the one I handed you, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the walk through the process side, this block.
Okay, then how come mine stops there and
So
yours
this,
goes
what I'm saying
Yeah.
is this goes with that.
Okay.
This doesn't go with
this
that.
stuff. Right, yeah, I can tell.
Okay.
Weird. Why is yours different than mine?
But I moved that out. All I was saying is I can, if we put something else, another criteria in here, I
Yeah.
can just type it in and
Right.
and
But
leave it there.
didn't we come up with, in the pink area, we came up with one or two other things that you were supposed to add?
That's what he's trying, he can't
And I-
remember.
And I wrote them on my copy,
I didn't
and I
bring that
don't
binder
have
with me.
that.
Yeah, I didn't bring my binder.
I
And
didn't
I
write it
wrote
on my
right on
copy
there.
because I was standing over
Right,
here.
well, we'll look
What's in
later
the-
and email
Show me
you.
what's in the
Okay,
pink.
if somebody could
Can
find
I,
it.
can I see that?
Oh, yeah,
please?
sure.
Thanks.
This is really old.
Okay, so the other thing that needed to be,
This
is identified by the commission as having an association with one or more historic persons or events. That's not listed here. Associated with historic persons
Are you looking at the actual?
or events.
He's looking at the actual bylaw.
Yeah, there you are, right there. Yeah, you started to write it down.
Yep.
Because this is the actual in the town,
So what we're trying to figure out,
but I can't walk through this, do that.
So I think you caught something else that we didn't discuss.
That's all right.
Channing just said, and I'm almost sure it was a structure that it's like the place up from my house, just past Tory Lane, right next to the first settlers burial ground. Okay, that may be from the right period and everything else, but it is not salvageable, right? The roofs,
Oh,
the
that
roofs,
house that's
yeah.
like the trees
The,
that
the
crawling
scary
Crawling
haunted
through it,
house
yeah.
right
Yeah.
beside the farm
Yeah,
building?
right
I
next
bet
to
you
the
that house would be
cemetery.
saved.
Yeah,
You don't think so?
Oh, actually.
Not with the windows broken and it's pouring rain through there.
There was a
Well,
lot of
and the
work
roof's
done to
gone.
it.
And then
it's-
it was abandoned? That's too bad.
Yeah. So, I mean, I thought that's what we were looking for, a way to not have to go
right,
So
this
the whole
escape.
through
Hearing
something,
process,
to
yeah.
get to the point where,
Did you discover anything?
I didn't
yet?
find
You're still-
Well, it's kind of like One Main Street, we let that house go, and that house was sad. I still think
But
it
we-
would have been
well,
saved
we-
again.
But again, we had the caveat that they were supposed to save things, but how do
Well,
we?
it definitely got salvaged, because
Yeah,
I watched,
they took the windows out.
Yeah, I watched,
Yeah.
the salvage guys
Yeah.
do it, it was right down the street from me.
Yeah, so I mean, at least we saved,
Yeah, they got flooring, they got tons of leaded windows, they got a ton of stuff out of that place, but. And there's multiple houses now going in that area.
yeah.
Like one doesn't look like it's being developed,
Yeah.
but there's now 3. And then there's another house, couple houses up from there, which I couldn't tell if it was like
Oh, in
a
Georgetown?
garage.
Yeah.
No, well, like
Yeah.
on the way to Georgetown. At
Yeah.
first I thought it was just a garage, but now
Yeah.
it looks like it's its own house.
Yeah,
And like I drive and I'm trying not to crash as I'm
Yeah.
doing this.
Well, so if somebody's got that in their notes, just email that
So-
to me.
the building
Yeah.
Yeah.
inspector, the building inspector,
Right.
and he is going to, because there is nothing to do with the demolition delay bylaw and the permit link.
Let's say your partner.
Okay,
So he is going to talk to the the people who control the permit link and put in get it so that there's quite more, there's a couple of things that could be triggered so that we have to approve because it's demolition delay, because it's not, there's no paper anymore. Everything's electronic now.
So you just want like more.
so all the
Permits.
stipulations that we typed out a couple of years ago on the application is no longer,
There's no applications now
It's all
like there
electronic.
was. Everything's
So-
electronic. You
so
done all
what-
this stuff?
so what, yeah, so what you,
So this, that was the question, we're gonna get together again.
And add like clickable things or something?
Yeah,
or-
because you'd have to be able to get into Permit Link,
Right.
but, Channing and I both can get into Permit Link in case one of the other of us
Right.
isn't around. But,
Okay, I know where it is.
to approve
but we
the building
had,
request.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, you mean
She
like
needs to
leave?
sneak out.
Oh, okay, yeah. Of course you can. Yeah.
Sorry.
Which
So
one
you're
is
a little
that?
bit early.
It's missing,
I don't know
that
why.
should add in.
that,
That's
it's
what-
I read
associated,
on
it's,
8:15.
Thank you for your service.
1B?
1.9D.
And
So
it's-
in a case like
What's he,
like 1 Main,
Yeah,
we have the out that it's significant but not preferably preserved,
Yeah,
which is what the case was with 1 Main.
mhm,
But if we get into a case like the Pupkin House, the Ferry House, they are doing a demolition of part of a protected building. And I don't think there's any way around going through the process.
boy, when you read this, an awful lot of that's protected.
Yeah.
Of the
Oh,
views
you
to the
you
different
actually have the,
directions.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see this one.
What? Don't look at me in that tone.
Oh, I thought you were trying to say something.
No, I'm just looking through of which ones we've already actually done.
But it's-
These are demoed
It's a-
delays that we
in this
actually,
particular case, the restrictions were assigned
2015,
to Historic New England, which is weird.
2020, 105 High Road, Surrey Lane. 2021.
see, this flow
Got her
chart's
dummies.
different. Lon, do you have this one?
No, I've got, the only two I have, you got a copy of it. There's this one that came out of another document, which I left in my copy machine.
What are you looking at, Frank?
This is probably made by Chris,
It's
I
a different
guess.
one.
So this has it, completes the demolition review. No, that's significant. Splits there. So in this, it goes significant one way or not significant the other way.
Mhm.
Application significant yes, significant no, gets permit issued.
There's no
So,
criteria there, huh?
so
Or
if
are there
we've
criteria?
got, so is, for example, house X, due to its age, or due to its, is it, if it's age, is it automatically significant? Like it is if it's
I would think so,
in a historic district, it's automatically significant?
right?
Any structure or
Well-
portion thereof which meets one or more of the following criteria. The first one up is, it is identified in the assessor's records as having been constructed in or prior to 1820.
And that's one of the criteria for making it significant.
Yep,
Yeah.
that means it's significant. By
So
age
does-
alone.
So it makes it, or does it make it,
It's one of the
Sig-
criteria
Yeah.
for significance.
is it a criteria for it, or is it automatically? All shall?
That's a good point. So that would set off what you're worried about. So if it's 1830, it automatically turns left to the yes. Okay, somehow we want to say, okay, we looked at it, and it's falling apart.
Yeah, it's unsettled.
Right,
Right,
it
and that's what-
met that criteria, but it is not preferably preserved, because it's
I
beyond.
really feel like we have too many of those properties. I feel like we should identify them and just have a little list.
Well, we need to do that too.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's the
Well, we
difference
almost-
between this significant preferably preserved and then this significant not preferably preserved.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well,
But
that's
that-
what I mean.
But
But
that
this-
one we decided
in
it
this
was
particular
beyond
flow chart-
shaving, and there's examples.
Yeah.
In this
We've
particular
had
flow
one
chart, it
already.
comes, the decision of preferably preserved or not preferably preserved comes after the whole hearing process.
Right. That's down here.
Yep.
So that's what, I just think that's what, whenever Shannon and I were saying, it was coming in an arrow over to here, and I think that was the no portion. I don't, I'm not sure.
All right, so on
What
this
he's
flow,
saying,
so on
no.
this flow chart, after
It's a-
3, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Within 15 days of receiving the proposal, that's number 3. this historical commission must determine if the structure to be demolished is significant. If it's no, it's not significant, there's no hearings. It's yes, it's significant, then we have to have one or two within 14 days. Within 14 days of the final hearing, the historical commission now has to determine whether the structure is preferably preserved.
And all the stuff about preferably preserved comes after the hearing process.
The hearing is just a meeting, right?
So, but at 3, if you look at this pink cube's flow chart,
Yeah.
it says, the commission shall determine if the structure is to be demolished is significant. So that is, we determine.
Yep,
Yeah,
If you read the first sentence in pink, significant structure may meet may, with emphasis on may, one of the following criteria. It doesn't say shall.
right.
It doesn't say it's,
but that's not
that's not law.
the law.
You
That's-
got law,
yeah.
I agree,
Yep.
I agree. So we need to compare law to that pink square.
Yeah,
So we've refined our search to right here.
Actually, I'm
The
thinking,
determination is significant, because I pick up on that may. And Chris, this is just a flow chart for town meeting. This is not the exact bylaw.
right.
Wait a
So,
minute.
So something
Here
could
is the exact bylaw.
yeah, he's got it here too.
Yeah, I've got it too. Well, I think I did. The front page. Says definitions, right? 1.9, significant or
Yep.
significant structure.
be, yes.
Any structure or portion thereof which meets the following criteria. Little picture boxes. Little picture
Yeah.
boxes. A significant structure may meet one or more of the following criteria. Identify the assessors records having been constructed in or prior to 1820. A, built in or before 1820.
Right,
B, listed on or is within the National Registry of Historic Places. B, same
is
thing.
eligible, yes,
C, found eligible.
right.
So actually, B and C in the actual DDB are different than the B on,
C and D,
on
yeah.
oh, I guess no, because it does say on or eligible for, so.
Yep.
oh, okay.
Right?
Yep.
So now we're on C, is in found eligible, see, that's where it's,
Right.
there, where it
Yep,
forks off.
yep,
Yeah.
So now D, in the actual, it's identified by the commission as having an association.
with one or more
So
historic
in-
persons or
And in
events.
the little colors, that's the C, so that's where there's confusion. In the
In the little colors,
bylaw,
that's the C.
yeah, in the little colors, that's a C.
Is important to the history of the town is not quite the same as associated with one or more historic persons or events.
Yeah.
Well,
It seems to branch a little bit there. So, because
Probably
D
just to
is
shorten it to the
identified by
spread.
the commission as being, having an association with one or more historic people.
I seem to remember writing this.
So significant architectural importance, it's, you know, this is where it gets a little, well, it doesn't quite match exactly, is what I.
Yeah.
E,
I-
that I wrote in connected to historical figure, in the actual thing, it is identified as historically or architecturally important in terms of, and that's really significant architectural important is D in the little pictures.
Yeah,
So it's a little,
it's just a little
that's
mixed
where
up.
the
Yeah.
mix-up is
I
in
think
the
what
alphabet.
happened was they,
you just shortened it to fit.
yeah,
And
they
combined. the two.
combined B and C.
Yeah,
See, this is the worksheet we made a few years ago.
you could
Not
get rid of
saying
A,
this
B, and
is-
C and put dots.
This is law,
Or-
but this is our field
See bylaw.
worksheet we made, which gave 3 check-off boxes. historically significant but not considered for preservation, not historically significant, or is historically significant. That's, you and I made that.
Oh, well, that's the letter,
That's
different.
that's the field paper for our
Okay.
recording devices.
Well, you can say it that way, but this is the like formal presentation to the building inspector. This is the worksheet
Yeah.
for getting to that historically significant stuff. Is shockingly too much paper,
Yeah, right?
but
So much verbiage.
yeah. And the sad thing is that most of it all means the same thing.
That's what I
so,
mean, it's like repeating almost the,
That's why lawyers take all that.
honestly.
Yeah. It's a repetition of the, I mean, these are the ones that we've actually done, Rich.
What's that?
These
Oh,
are the ones that have actually been done. That we actually had to
Yeah.
review at one
Given
point,
the opportunity to do.
2015
I'm surprised it actually doesn't happen.
Sled Road,
Have them use it.
25 High
Couldn't even have dinner
Road,
with them.
Ericktown, 1 Maple Terrace, inspect the building. So 280 High, that's off
Yeah.
there. 109 Main Street in Byfield. These are all the ones that we actually did some of this. I remember the Tenny's Court one. It's right around the corner. So, but there's a lot of repetition in,
Yeah.
but it doesn't, so they lost the thread. So, but the actual law is what we have to go by.
right.
So what we need to do, in my opinion, and I don't know if you already said this because I was trying to take notes and read things. The walk-through process pictures need to match the actual thing, and where is the deviations
Yeah.
need to be identified. And I think that's what we're probably supposed to be really trying to do, right?
Jan, I think what I did, I seem to remember trying to cut this down so it would fit here. And that's why I put those two together. I might be, I mean, how long ago? This was like
Couple of
15 years ago. But I seem to remember writing this, and so I'm probably the reason
I
for
don't
the
remember what I ate
confusion.
for dinner last week, so I'm impressed.
I didn't make this chart though, so I don't know.
No, Chris did.
But I may have put the big box in.
You may have.
I don't remember.
All right, looks like we need to continue reading the actual bylaw.
So what I said while you were missing is, the actual law that's on the town website, if you don't have it, I have it here. Well, every time you print it, it tells you what date it is. Has to match up with the little pictures.
At least if we're going to do A, B, and C, because the thing here has A, B, and C. You know, and somebody looks and says, well,
Yeah.
that's not
It
B.
needs to be
Right.
like
It
That's
could
what I
just be
mean.
bullets.
very
Right.
simple
You
for the
know.
public.
Yeah, but I don't think we want to take all that text and try and put it in the graph.
No, but I
So,
mean, it's
yeah.
gotta match. It's gotta be
Yeah.
built in before 1820. That works. That's A, 1.9A in the actual
Yeah, yeah.
wording, right? And B,
Yeah, I got it.
listed or within an area listed in the National Registry, so the B is right on the pictures as it is in the actual thing. It's after that that it starts to get a little hairy.
Yeah.
Not much, but just a little.
Let's go back to that order, and we can shorten the thing so it fits here. It's not, we're not putting a tone in this graphic, and say, see exact wording in bylaw, in parentheses of just above that.
Yeah, but
It's
I
the
mean,
exact
there's
wording.
plenty of room on the page to put like 2 more lines here.
Oh, no, we'll add the extra lines.
Yeah, that's-
I'm just saying, well, we don't need to
pictures.
put the whole paragraph
No,
in.
no, we do not,
Yeah.
but it's just the bullet points,
Yeah.
so to speak, but the bullet points should match,
Yep, I agree.
which is what we're all saying.
Especially if it's ABC,
Yeah,
yeah, and that one's ABC.
kind of pulls you right into it, doesn't it?
Okay.
So how does the law as written apply to the ferry house?
Ferry House is before 1820,
Before 1820?
for sure, right there.
Yep.
It's got significance to the town, number 2.
Yep.
I mean, so it probably meets most of the criteria.
Yeah.
So it definitely fits underneath it.
Mhm.
No, it's not until we
So
determine
now what? So
that
do-
it is significant that we have to then go in through public hearing.
Right.
Hearing process.
So
But
it's-
certainly the
so-
Ferry House is significant. By
Well-
these criteria.
If this, all right, we're getting sidetracked with the ferry thing, but
Yeah.
if the ferry thing has restrictions on it that would cause public question or anybody's questioning of that, then we'll have to go through the hearing process. But on a case like, so it looks like we still need to, and I need to, and I don't, hopefully other people do the same, is sit down with the town bylaw and determine, as you say, is there an escape hatch? Like it's only a worksheet for the field operation, but we did have three different ways it could go. Significant but not for preservation, not significant, and significant. So we need to determine if with the bylaw, if that's true. We need to read the exact findings. With the word may in here, even though this is just a flow chart made up.
Who owns this? Did you say?
SPNEA, which is now Historic New England.
Oh, here it is. So do they need permission from Historic New England to do anything then? This is,
I
this
was
is
led to
the,
believe
this is,
that it was all discussion about the septic system.
That wouldn't be SPNEA though, that'd be the Board of Health.
Wait, what?
The preservation restriction on the property was about bedrooms and the septic system.
He's got it right, he's got the text of the restriction.
it's all about, what do they call it, the view.
The view,
Yeah. From
And
the
the
four
view from-
sides.
the view from all 4 points of the compass, actually.
Oh,
Yeah. Nobody's gonna see it from the riverside, but
Yeah. Well, that's what, and he's made, that's where he put all of his major changes.
yes, yeah.
I'm probably, it's like 2 months ago now, with 2 other things going through. But I believe that the original idea that there was a restriction on it was due to the septic system and the number of bedrooms.
But that's not the restriction that
But that's not
Historic New England
the
has.
that's not what actually happened.
Mhm.
But that was originally what was thought was what the restriction was about,
Yeah.
which was mistaken information
Yeah,
that.
the actual restriction is right here.
Right, but that's why I'm trying to clarify through it. Because what we thought it was and what it is, the 2 different things,
Yeah.
once we got into looking at the
So, when
information.
you said view from the road?
This has view from all 4 points of the
Four
compass.
sides.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So this is, just to make sure we're on the same page, this is the house that they're talking about moving the barn.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So when they came for that meeting, they didn't have this.
Now, I think that's
How did you get that?
convenient.
the question.
It was in my file for the demolition delay
Oh,
bylaw.
okay.
I don't remember, I don't remember copying it. So I'm not sure where I got it.
Interesting. Was it handed out to us
So-
that day?
The restriction you had was the one that's on the deed in Salem, talking about the bathrooms and the septic system.
I don't believe so.
That's not a restriction though, that's
It's strange.
permanent.
It
That's
was
a permanent, the house is permitted with that drain field for so many bedrooms.
Yeah.
But that's
the
what's
thing.
attached to the deed, and that's what they came to the meeting with.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we don't care about, well,
Here is what
That's not our
Mass
problem.
Historical
That's
has
historical.
said. The Ferry House appears in Macris because there is a perpetual preservation restriction on the property that is held by Spinea. The property appears in Macris because of the preservation restriction. Properties with perpetual preservation restrictions that were approved are listed in the historic registry. Because I said, where's the paperwork?
Mhm.
It's listed in Macris, where's the paperwork? There is no paperwork.
Right.
And that's why, because it's got that preservation restriction that was put on by Spinea.
And there it is.
The preservation restriction conveyed to Spinea in 1976 and recorded in the Registry of Deed Book 6282, page 265, enables them to enforce restrictions to the town of Newbury, with the rights of the enforcement assigned by Spinea to the town was, as he's asking me questions, they have no record of. So we don't either, I don't think. Because I had said to him, how is this house listed but there's no paperwork? And that's what because of the restriction that was put on the deed. So it's interesting to find,
So in theory, does that mean that shouldn't be allowed then?
Well, they need to rule on that.
Yeah.
Well, if they did a deed search on this, when they transfer the title of the property, this book and page is written right here, book page 5400, page 629. That should have come up,
Yeah.
and they should have a copy of this.
Now,
When you're
the
saying
the
they-
architect told
The
us,
buyer.
Both.
the
Owner.
owners.
the owner,
The
Yeah.
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 But the architect said he's aware of this and he's read through it several times and he thinks he's in compliance.
So,
Mostly because he's
We
not
wouldn't
changing the
determine-
roof line.
We don't determine that.
Is it
But
because
that
he's
is on
rebuilding it?
Spinea.
Like, is that his justification, that it's because it's being rebuilt and put back?
I think
This is
so.
on,
It's not-
this is on the house.
We can't,
Then,
we can't override that.
No, I know, but I'm just trying to think of like
ourselves.
his spin, like what's his thought process? Is it because he's putting it back that it's not changing it, you know, even though he is changing it? I'm just trying to think of
Yeah, the list talks
which
about-
angle he's trying to
Yeah.
work with.
Well, it says, change elevations,
Actually,
windows,
trying to get
doors,
us to approve it
roof
instead of them.
profiles, chimneys. Redecorating or refurbishing shall not be considered alterations. Painting, things that are not included in this are painting, replacement of glass, installation of window or door screens, no sign, or doors. No sign shall be painted or affixed to the house or the barn except for an attractive suit of manner. In the event of an addition is planned, it can be attached to the west elevation, incompatible with so the west
That's
elevation.
probably where
That's the back,
yeah,
It's the water.
this is why the architect thinks he's
Yeah.
okay with it.
because he's maintaining the appearance from the street, from High Road.
Of
Right.
the house,
Yeah,
yeah, except for the
what do you
attachment.
want? What do you think?
This is.
Because
this
if they
is
said the
thing.
west side, then that's where, yeah, okay.
'Cause this is book 682, 265.
Book 5400, page 629.
That's before this one. 'Cause this is
So-
6282. This is from
All right, well, when we meet with them again, we'll have this
1976.
and say,
When's that from? This is from
We'll walk through.
1976.
yeah,
I mean,
76.
if they haven't ruled on it, I mean,
Well, what I'm reading
we
is,
shouldn't be countering their,
no, it's not, what's between Spinia and the homeowner is their business. We need to make sure that
so the best we could do is say, we're okay with what you're doing, but you
Well,
gotta check with these guys.
we're not even involved in the permit process,
Yeah.
really,
Oh, because we're not gonna call it a demolition.
unless they get into, unless there's a demo. But
Okay.
still,
do you think they're gonna pick up that existing barn and move it? Really?
No, they're gonna disassemble it.
they said they were gonna
We put
disassemble
it
it.
back together.
But there's a difference between demolition and disassembly. And
Right.
no, but I mean, it's not, if you're gonna disassemble it and put it in,
In the dumpster?
somebody else's house or something, it's different than, we're talking about demoing to destroy as opposed to disassembling to reassemble within the same property.
But what do we know about how much of the existing material they're
It's
gonna
being
maintain?
reused, yeah. It's supposed to
Well,
be
he
like
said
a,
this
like a
is
path, like a,
staircase, the
yeah.
beams, but I guess the outside.
I mean, it's gonna look like a new building, it's not gonna look like the
Yeah.
barn,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
in between two, spaces. It's gonna be a beautiful space, I'm sure, that's fully insulated and wired with,
Yeah,
Well, when it gets further down the road, we'll have to just make sure we review.
Just
Yeah.
ask them. yeah.
Another,
Whether they
another
have-
Dan, you
meeting.
wanna make a copy?
If they get a letter from Spinia saying
you can't do it, yeah,
you either can or can't,
yeah.
that's the
You
quickest
wanna
way to
make a
stay
copy
out of
that For
it.
yourself.
And then as far as, the only thing that really involves us is just the demo permit
Mhm.
there. All right, enough for tonight. So everybody's gonna try to research significant structure.
Yeah.
Wait a minute,
As
let
it
me write this
pertains-
down, please.
Johnny, why don't I'll try to write some proposed language for the pink box that's consistent with the bylaw. I mean, that's more consistent with the bylaw.
Yeah, so let's get the flow chart more consistent with the bylaw, and we need to study the term of how you get to significant structure. Step 3.
Yeah,
The most important of all the steps.
Step 3,
well,
is
because
there,
once you get past step 3, it gets complicated.
is there an exit for step 3 other than what we're looking at now? All right. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.